How's it going, guys? This is another video from the Weiss Club. You got Wins, you got Kaicho, you got Myth,
What's up?
and
Yo.
today we're going to be doing a deck profile of Data Live that took first place in AMA's March 5th tournament.
Yeah.
And you got any opening statements for us?
Um. Apparently, I broke the curse because I win flawless. So I guess that's also pretty cool. But yeah, what's up, guys? You've heard my voice enough times as kind of the go-to host for White Shorts Club. But here to show you a little bit of a spicy deck build for Data Live. So guess without further ado, let's get started. So we'll start off with our level 0. So start off with 3 Yoshino runners. So on play, mill, if it's a level 1 or higher, you get plus 2k until the end of the turn. So it becomes 4k if you hit. And then you also have the ability, if a character is facing her, she's allowed to free run. So this is a perfect way to get it away from those pesky bombs, get away from pesky clean cuts that are trying to get value. Good blue card. So I play red, blue, red, yellow, blue for my 3 colors. I don't really play green because the 3/3 counter is a bit of a debate, because I feel like if you're risking your life on a 3/3 event at the end of the game, then you probably put yourself in a position one way or another that wasn't favorable. So that's kind of my decision. But yeah, it's a good Yoshino card. Next up, we run 3 Kotri Akatsukis. So on attack, if all of the characters are date, I can pump 1k somewhere, and then on death, I can pitch one to look at top 4, add a level 1 or higher card. Um, Easy Mill helps me search for my level 1s, lets me set up my waiting room for level 2, or for standbys. Good card. Red fits with the standby, works out. And then the other 3 of are 3 Kudami Brainstorms. Start a climax phase, give a character 500, plus it's a tap self brainstorm search. Um, Most of your accessibility in this deck is through just what your deck has at any given time. So having the ability to brainstorm search, that way you can kind of selectively choose what you get based on what's left in the deck. Being able to just get the get the millage, especially when you're sort of inadvertently compressed, as paying 1 stock just to get through a little bit of the deck. Even though your level 1 gets through it, it's pretty useful. And for the 2Os, we played 2 of the Toka TD cards. They're the Cowgirl, the Artisu. You know it, you love it. Top check character, add it to hand, pitch 1. You can also pitch a character to draw 1. Good utility. Need I say more? Another 2 of, we played 2 of the Shido. So on play, you can send a character to memory and then bring it back. Never really got a chance to resolve it for in the tournament. Like obviously, if you're playing against cards that may have like lingering effects like markers or Nexol, it's pretty useful to just get rid of it and then bring back the card. It's also got the pay 1 sack self Akatsuki effect, so look for a date character. More millage, more control of the deck. It's a decent yellow target for your level. This is an interesting choice that not too many people run in the in Data Live. It's this Kunami PR. So on play, you can shuffle 2 characters back into your deck, and if you do, she can side without soul penalty. And then she also has on attack, she can pump 1500 anywhere. So the reason why I think this card is really good when you're playing the Kotri level 1, or really a lot of other combos in Data Live, the fact that you just get to put 2 cards that you know you want back into the deck, and you can have a character that's side, so then you go around having like standby, try and wall up and try and minimize the damage. You also get a free power pump. Pretty good. Good. I like this card. I'm not too sure why people don't play this card that much. And then to close out the 1-ofs, we have the Kotari Drop Salvage with an on-play top check 2 rearrange. And then a Origami Climax Pit Fixer, pay 1, pitch a climax, salvage a climax, and it also has show your hand to and if you have a climax in there, you can neg the opponent's front row for 500. This actually helped me break a couple boards. It also helped me snipe off a pesky stock bomb in one of my matches in the Swiss. But yeah, pretty good. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 zeros. It's a decent amount. Pretty standard. Going on to your level 1. So we play 4 copies of your Kotari. E-combo comes with this fork. On your turn, she gets 1500, so she's 5/5. On your turn, climax combo with the fork. You get to top check to perform the following action twice. Top check if it's a date character or an event. You get to add it to hand. Everyone likes to meme me about being the +6 guy. Wins can attest, Kaiju can attest. But yeah, so this combo quite literally lets you potentially +6. And if you don't +6, you're triggering a standby, which gets you a character that can upgrade one of your already swung Kotaris or one of your zeros that are still laying around. Or you're triggering a choice, at which point you still get a card. The decision is whether or not it goes to your hand or if it goes into stock. So you +6 somehow, it's pretty good. Moving on, we run 2 copies of the Kudami level 1. It's a 1/1 similar to the Silica. If you have 2 or more date characters, she gets 15 and hand encore. So 6k becomes a 7/5 with hand encore. It's your go-to level 0 standby target. If you see this in your opening mulligan, you just pitch that, and then if you draw into a standby, clock a red, standby, you're in business. The way most standby decks tend to work. And then the last level 1, another choice that I don't see too much, mainly because I think not too many people play Data Live mixed with Fujimi cards, but we have this 1/1 Miku. So she has 3 effects, all of them involving resting herself. So the first effect is to just rest, and you could just pump 2/5 to a Celestial Spirit or a Fujimi card. The Celestial Spirit part is pretty important in most situations. The only card I believe it misses on is the Origami, but everyone else is a spirit, so it's fair game to just free 2/5 somewhere out of nowhere.
And Shido.
Oh right, Cheeto. But he shouldn't be on the board by that point. He should be dead. I hope. Anyways, second effect, you can pitch a card and rest to choose a cost 0 on the opponent's front row and send it to the bottom of the deck. In case you just want to remove a problematic like Clock Bomb, maybe Aaron Yeager, you can just pitch a card and just yeet it out of the board. Shuffles back a card into the deck. Could be potential extra damage. And then the last effect is to pay 2 rest her to heal. The fact that you can stand by this out at level 1, and then you have a standing 2/5 pump for the rest of the game, or you can heal at level 0 if you want to be really ballsy. Like, it's a really fun card. It also has a soul trigger, and it's a blue card. This is probably the only card you care about hard playing. So if you do have blue, what sometimes I like to do if I've got like a climax buried a little deeper is this helps you pay 3 stocks. So like you can clock a blue card or like the Yoshino, play this, rest 2, heal, get the Yoshino out of your clock, maybe pay out a straight climax or 2, and it kind of works out really well because it's very hard to deal with this card outside of like the My Little Shido, but I think people are running the standby for the ban list as it is, so yep. Moving on to level 2s, we run 3 of the Kudami 2/2s. We don't have like a whole lot of like 2/2s that stay around long enough. So having just straight up 1k Super Ellie clones with hand encore is pretty useful for the deck. I also run 2 copies of this Toka level 2. 1k for every other date character, and then on reverse, she can top check the top 2 cards and then rearrange them. So like another thing that you like to do sometimes is you swing with this first, you see your two triggers, and then you decide the order of the other two. It's a good versatile card. You like to stand by the Toka against people who might not have an easy way of dealing with her, and then you like to bring out Kudami in situations where if they remove it by being bigger or by anti-early playing, you just pitch one to hand encore and it stays around. Yeah. Um, the other two level 2s, we play one anti-early play stock bomb because it's technically a 2-0 because if you have 4 more or other dates, it's on the board. You get to put a card or back from your waiting room into stock, 2-0. And then you have your free fresh counter, pay 2 to free fresh your deck. I like these cards when they come up. You don't have to actively resolve these two. Like there are situations where sometimes I just put this into stock when I trigger a choice because I don't think it'll work out in the matchup or I'm confident that I won't need it. But yeah. All right. And then rounding out to the level 3s, we have our ban list choice. You love her. You may or may not hate her. We have Kudami and her standby. So just to give you a recap, she's on play heal. If you have 2 or more other date, she gets 1k, so she's 10-5 if on the swing usually. And then her climax combo with the standby is to resolve one of the 3 effects. You either stock swap the opponent, you can shuffle 3 back into the opponent's deck from the waiting room, or you can pitch 2 to burn 3. I got to use all 3 effects like pretty liberally throughout this game or throughout this tournament. I mean, in the finals, you actually saw a really fun situation where I stock swapped Kaicho for 3 climaxes, or I shuffled 3 climaxes back in to control the number of climaxes that he was gonna have relative to the deck. And then when I stock swapped, it just was like, okay, well, now he's disrupted. He has 4 climaxes kind of stuck in his stock, and he needs to pay them all out before something goes a little eerily wrong. And yeah, it's a good finisher. It's pretty much free because all you have to do is pay 6 stock to play 3 of this. Boom, boom, boom.
Pay 6, you mean triple standby trigger, right?
Triple standby trigger at level 2. Yep. To round out the level 3s, I run 2 copies of the Kotari. This is also a really solid card. It's front 2k, and then on play, you can resolve one of the 3 effects. You can either look 3, add 1, you can salvage a character, or you can give your current board 1k1. This is how you can resolve not having additional power and soul by just jamming this out and being like, now my standby is a 1k1 and on play, but it's just a good support card. You usually put this over your brainstormer because usually in the end game you just need to get as much power on the board as possible. There are some situations where you'll play it over the Miku, but both of them are really good, and it kind of depends on how the matchup ends up. But still a good card. For one ofs, we play 1 copy of the Maid PR, so on play heal, and at the end of her attack, you can pay 5, pitch 2 to restand her. It's here just in case I'm playing against someone who doesn't want me to burn. So then what I would do instead is I would just hold up a lot of stock because I don't have to like pay for anything other than my brainstorms. Because ideally I'm triggering a standby on the 3rd trigger. Then I could just get a new character, brainstorm it back out, kind of reset and go. So this is just my like, in case I need to win the game without burning, it works out. We play 1 copy of the early play Toka Healer. Early play, if you have 4 more date characters, gets 2k until the end of the opponent's turn, and on play heal. It's good in case you just need a body at level 2. Usually, if you're like triggering standbys at a good time, you'll end up not having to play this, but if you have it in your hand because you added it with Kotari, and then you kind of end up with an extra spot on the board, or you don't trigger as many standbys to help repopulate your board, it's a good one of just in case. We play one copy of the Kurumi. This card's pretty MVP. If you have 2 or more date, you get 1/5 and Hanok and Memory Kick. So it's 10/5 on play heal, and on attack pay 3 pitch 1 to mill the bottom 5 of the opponent's deck, burn for the number of climaxes, and she gets 2k. So 12/5 on attack, Memory Kick, burn Michiru +1. We take those. It's also a good standby target when you hit level 2. That way you can just have it, and then you have like a death warrant kind of hanging around. And then the last level and the last card we run is one copy of this Kunimi. So it's an early play if you have the Brainstorm in your clock. And then on play, you can look X. X is equal to the number of date characters. You don't always, like, it's pretty hard because ideally you want yellow in your clock at level 1, red by level 2, and blue kind of like gets put in at some point. But in situations where the Brainstorm just happens to get hit in the clock and you have this card, it can help you loop into your second and fourth combo. It can help you loop into other utility. And yeah, I think it's a sleeper solid card. I think it just depends on the playstyle and how much you're willing to like risk it on some of these one-ofs. But yeah, that about does it for my deck profile, guys.
Cool. Other than that, any closing thoughts? Any questions?
I mean, shout out to AMA for letting us play in the tournament. Shout out to UCI, the White Shorts Club, because we really enjoyed this game and we want to show off a couple of things.
Oh wait,
Shout
before
out
we
to-
get in trouble for that, it's not UCI White Shorts Club. It's White
Yeah.
Shorts at UCI.
Yeah, I have the brains turned to jelly because it's 12 o'clock right now. But yeah, so there's that, and yeah, enjoy a little bit of dark technology. Hopefully, this shows you guys a little bit of a fun build. Maybe you'll have fun. Showed it to your friends. Surprise some people online. Surprise some people in your locals. Yeah,